Hey guys, I'm Voilin, and in today's video I want to talk about project management systems and what system I use for GoZen, the video editor that I'm making in Godot. First of all, I also want to say my hand had surgery, so I cannot really move my hand properly yet, so if my hand does strange things, that's why. Okay, so let's start off with Trello. This was one of the first project management systems that I used, and I liked it because it's very minimalistic and you don't have a lot of customization, which helps to not spend too much time customizing everything and spend more time actually using it. I have tried using it recently, but it's missing some of the things that I would need. And especially for programming, I find it useful if you work alone, but the moment that you work with more people or want to give more of a clear view to people, I find Trello a little bit limiting. Like, you can have the power up for the calendar, but the fact that you cannot have any of the other views, like especially table, that's a deal breaker for me, and that's why I stopped using it. Something I do like about Trello, and that's that you can have email reports. Yes. So you can have email set up that when, like at the beginning of the week, you can have like an overview of all your open issues, all your open pull requests and such, and your to-dos. I find that very helpful to get those kind of mails. Normally you can create like a schedule to create automation and make you receive, and basically you can kind of do whatever you want. I like the automation a lot in Trello, and that's one of the reasons that I went back to Trello for some time, because I started using Notion. Yeah, the amount of time that I invested into building the system that I wanted in Notion and the time actually using that system, there's a big difference. I wasted a lot of time trying to use Notion, trying to set up Notion. And a lot of people like it. It's not for me. I just cannot really handle it. There's too much customization, and I won't show a lot of the things because there's a lot of detail, like info that I don't want to show just yet. So we have my YouTube channel, articles, videos, and that's all I use it for YouTube and for writing blog articles. But the blog articles, I'm making my own site builder system. And yeah, basically I don't need to write the articles in another place anymore. Yeah, long story short, I stopped using that. The only thing that I used Notion for was basically my video schedules. I tried using it for programming on GoZen, but that turned out to be very ineffective, and especially the automation features that you can have in something like Trello are extremely limited inside of Notion. I tried using it for programming related stuff, and I gave up within the first 3 days. So what am I using for GoZen right now? That's a good question. So I'm using GitHub projects. And there are a couple of reasons why I use GitHub projects. And the biggest reason why I use GitHub projects is because everything is already inside of GitHub. I use GitHub as my way of storing all the files and sharing all the files. Just general stuff. So the GoZen project is a GitHub project. 2 cameras, I forgot. And the implementation of GitHub projects, like how everything interacts with each other, it's perfect for what I need. I have my inbox and I have my backlog. Every issue or PR that gets created gets put inside of the inbox. After the inbox, I can choose a status if I want it to do or in progress, or I can just move it directly to backlog when it's an issue for later, like for a later version of GoZen. It does what I need. I can have a to-do list, I can have in progress, needs reviewing, and done. I can have tables, which is kind of helpful. I recently cleaned up the entire system, the entire project, because my hand did not work for a month, so I'm kind of behind schedule. It says on track here, but let's not look too much at that. Yeah, I can have whatever I want in here. It's simple. I cannot really customize it a lot, and that's a good thing. I'm not wasting time trying to customize everything. And that's a big thing for me, because I easily get like distracted, and especially with these kind of like planning tools, project management tools. So basically I use GitHub projects because it integrates everything nicely. It's simple, no distractions, and I have the views that I need. I can even have a timeline view, which a roadmap view, which I used to use in the beginning. Right now that's gone because I don't know how long this hand will take to heal properly, so I'm not certain how long things will take to complete at this moment. So I'm not really setting that many deadlines for myself right now. But yeah, that's basically it. What system do you use for managing your project? Do you use GitHub Projects, Trello, Notion, any of the other ones? I also tried ClickUp for some time, but it's kind of complicated, and there were free usage issues, like limitations, that kind of turned me off from that. But yeah, like I said, GitHub Projects, it's a nice combination. It works as you expect without any hiccups. So yeah, that's the system I'll use for GoZen, and it's also the system that I use for other projects as well. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. And a quick mention to my Kohi supporters, thank you very much, and if you want to become a part of this list, please go to my Ko-fi page. Thank you.